What if I told you the fastest growing group of marijuana users isn't teenagers or college students? It's actually your grandparents. And they're not using cannabis to get high, but they're using medical marijuana for pain relief. And the results are absolutely amazing.
But now you got a new ingredient.
Yeah, we added the marijuana. Yeah.
The party Don's attending is an old school pot party. Although this one has a new wrinkle. It's at the Trilogy Retirement Community, an hour east of San Francisco, where lately the golf course has a new competitor for popularity.
This is the old style of rolling a joint.
Cannabis. Gail Crawley, the host of the party, is 74.
Cannabis use among seniors over 65 has nearly tripled in one decade, from 11% in 2009 to 32% in 2019, according to the National Survey of Drug Use and Health. But here's really what's interesting. And this is something that most people don't realize, that 63% of older adults who use marijuana do specifically use it for pain relief, based on the Journal of Medicine Cannabis Patient Survey. Now, this information is provided by 2024 research from the University of Michigan's National Poll on Health Aging. And I want to share with you exactly what's happening with seniors in medical cannabis for pain management. But before we delve into pain relief benefits, let me tell you about Ellis Chase. Now, Ellis has been living with extreme pain since the early 1960s. The issue primarily is arthritis and spinal issues and some neck problems that seem to be getting worse with time. Now, if you're not familiar with the pain scale, it typically goes from 0 to 10. And I would say on any given time, my pain could be anywhere from 4 to 8. And that's why I'm currently using medical cannabis myself. But Ellis now says his pain is around an 8. Then one day his doctor said something that changed his life. He said, "Have you ever thought about medical marijuana now that it's legal in his state?" Now, Ellis isn't alone. And at 77 years old, he's part of a massive shift, just like Sue Taylor. Sue Taylor went from being a Catholic school principal, one of most respected ladies in Oakland, California, became an advocate for medical cannabis after seeing the incredible benefits firsthand. Now, here's where it really gets interesting, and the data that most people haven't seen yet. The numbers are staggering. Recent studies in the University of Michigan's National Poll on Healthy Aging shows 21% of Americans aged 50 and older use marijuana in the past year. And that's nearly doubled the rate compared to 3 years ago. And this 70% of seniors reporting decreased pain after medical cannabis treatment, according to research published in the Journal of American Geriatric Society. Guys, we're talking about major health agencies. This is the data from them, not just some survey random company has put out, or a survey from the medical marijuana groups. These are national and international groups. Now, let me break down exactly how medical marijuana helps pain relief. In clinical studies just published by peer-reviewed medical journals, the median pain score dropped from an 8, which is typically where I was, to a 4, which is typically a 4 or a 2 on the 0 to 10 scale after 6 months of cannabis treatment. Now, that is a 50 to 60% reduction in pain. 50 to 60%, guys. But here is what really shocked me when I researched this topic. Medical marijuana is proving to be safe or safer than many prescription drugs for seniors. Unlike using opioids, which carry a high addiction risk, cannabis has a significantly lower dependency and risk according to clinical cannabis research. Now, many seniors are actually replacing multiple prescriptions and medications with medical cannabis. Now, another individual, Arlene, somebody that I know personally, who is 79 years old right now. When she first tried marijuana, she had been on opiates for 8 to 9 years for chronic back pain. But Vicodin, which is the medication she was on, was barely working anymore. She now uses watermelon gummies, which is what I use. Now, for her, the 10 to 1 CBD to THC, that's 10 to 1 CBD to THC ratio, seems to give her the best relief. She's got that dialed in just perfectly. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly are seniors using cannabis for? And that answer might surprise you. This is based on the American Journal of Medicine. 63% of users are reporting they use it primarily for chronic pain. 68% report better sleep disorders. Others are using it for arthritis and joint pain, and some are using it simply for anxiety and depression. Now, be sure that you understand this medical professionals recommend the start low and go slow approach. Guys, I want to repeat this again. This is so important. Start low and go slow. When you talk to your bud tender, explain that to them, and they will help you ramp up over a period of time. As clinical geriatric pharmacist Danielle explains, that seniors need to be especially careful with dosing. But here's something that most people didn't realize about cannabis and pain. Medical marijuana isn't just for smoking anymore. It's for edibles like gummies, which is what I use almost 100%, or cookies. And you got to watch cookies because some people think if you eat a cookie, if you eat the whole cookie, that's one dose, and that's not. You will get extremely high and you will sleep for a long time, but you will not overdose, folks. All right? So please, cookies are only a bite. Same thing with brownies or other edibles. That's why I like dosed out gummies. Please consider that as a suggestion from me. Now, I'm not telling you to use it, but if you're considering it, I'm only giving you information that has worked for me or people that we've interviewed. They also converted into different types of oils or capsules that can be taken like regular medication. Or if you're a smoker, you can vape it for faster relief. Now, here's the part that really matters with anybody dealing with chronic pain. Guys, I was diagnosed in my 50s, early 50s, 51 to be exact, with chronic pain. And I've been on opiates, and I get 100 hydrocodones at a time. Okay. And I'm watched like a hawk. Now, I used to, well, first off, let me go back. I used to use about a bottle a month. That's how much I was using. Now it is down to a bottle every 4 to 6 months. So my doctor is extremely happy that I have found and been so successful with medical cannabis. I'm not telling you to try it. I'm only giving you the information about it. I've had many of my friends come to me and say, Mark, I know you use it. I'd like to use it. I'm afraid to go into the store because I've never used it before. And you go in with a friend and you just very simply talk to them, and you talk to the bud tender about some new different flavors or different uh, ratios like that, to 10 to 1. I mean, these people are there and they are extremely knowledgeable. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Unlike prescription opiates, medical marijuana allows seniors to remain present and alert. As one user explained, when they're on hardcore drugs, they're not present. They have no idea what's going on in their life. They're just basically, the word is stoned from the medicine. And they die long before they're actually physically blurred. Now, with cannabis, they're present with their families. They're active with their families. You take a low dose and you can still do what you need to do. I'm not saying that you drive or operate heavy machinery, but you can be present at home. The only time I use it is when I'm home. I never go out when I've used any kind of cannabis. Now, the stigma around cannabis is disappearing very quickly among seniors. Many grew up in the height of cannabis prohibition, but now they're seeing it as medicine. Now, Sue Taylor is somebody that I met when I started researching this, discovered that cannabis is the way to go for her. It is a great alternative, and that is a quote from her. But before you consider medical marijuana for pain relief, there are some important things you need to know. Now, medical marijuana can cause side effects in seniors, according to the Journal of American Geriatric Society. Now, some of these include fatigue and dizziness, which does have an increase in fall risk. But if you're dosing correctly, you don't ever get to the point where you're dizzy like this. Okay. This is why it's important to ask questions. The other is short term memory effects and dry mouth. Now, dry mouth is something that occasionally will happen with me if I'm having a really bad night and I have to dose up a little bit. Now, that's why it's crucial to work with a doctor. I'm talking about a medical professional who understands cannabis medicine. Medical marijuana is now legal as of this video in 38 states plus Washington, D.C. But you must first contact a qualified physician and get proper guidance where required. Or you get like a medical marijuana card. Now, in some states, you can actually get it for recreational. And honestly, that's what I do. It's just as easy, although my doctor does manage mine. Now, here's what you can do right now if you're dealing with chronic pain. Number one, talk to your doctor about medical cannabis as pain relief option. Number two, research dispensaries in your areas that specialize in senior care. Simply get on the phone and call them. It's that simple. They may have one or two people that specialize in working with seniors. Number three, start with something called CBD. I know you've heard of it. CBD dominant products if you're brand new to cannabis. I started with CBD and it was great. but eventually my body got back to pain. Number 4, guys, this is so important. This is so important that I would ask you, write it down right now. Number 4, keep a pain diary to track your results. How bad your pain is on a 0 to 10, what you've taken, if it's a narcotic or an opiate, what your relief is and how long it took you. Do it again when you're in pain. Document it, what marijuana or what type of gummy you took, what strength or dosage it is. Write it down and track it, and then share these results with your doctor. So important. And number 5, you can connect with seniors that use especially medical marijuana for support. And I know there are some groups that you can get on Facebook. Okay. Now, remember, medical marijuana is just about the safest pain relief option, at least for me, on the planet. But it is according to many medical professionals. Okay. The research from the Journal of American Geriatric Society shows that seniors using cannabis experience considerable improvement in health and well-being, with many of the reduced dependencies on prescription medication. Now, guys, cannabis for pain relief isn't just a trend. It is an amazing medical revolution that's helping millions of seniors reclaim their quality of life. If you found this information helpful, and I hope you did, make sure to subscribe and go ahead and do it right now while we're talking about it for more videos about natural relief. Now that I'm going to do this, if the gods of YouTube allow this video to stay up, then I will continue to update this with new information. And if you're a senior dealing with chronic pain like me, I've been dealing with it for over 25 years. Remember, you don't have to suffer in silence. Guys, I can't tell you, I would say 150 to 200 times at night I was crying in bed to my wife. I can't tell you how many times I had to go to the hospital to get pain injections of fentanyl, a drug that scares the heck out of me, but it's monitored. But I was getting fentanyl or I was getting some other narcotic, and that was the only thing that I could do. And then I slept for a good full day, and it got me out of that day. But the next day, what happens? I go to the hospital, and now they think I'm a drug seeker. So this is, in my mind, this is probably one of the safest ways that you can get some type of pain relief that is legal, if it is legal in your state. Okay. And that's the big if. I'm not asking you to do anything that is illegal. Okay. What you can do is do what I've done. And I wrote to my senators and my congressmen because my state was very slow on getting approved. All right. Now, guys, as always, this video is for education and entertainment only. Okay. It is not intended as medical, financial, or an enticement to buy, sell, or use any item, product, or service, unless in the beginning of this video, which I did not have it, you were advised or saw a notification it was being sponsored by a company or some form of compensation. Now, the information presented is about my journey personally and the people that I've interviewed. Is it is a product or service that I use or I find that may be helpful in the right situation for the viewer. It isn't a substitute for professional medical, mental, or financial advice. Always seek the advice of medical, financial, or legal professionals. All right, guys. Listen, thank you very much for watching. This was something that I really wanted to do, but I held off for a long time bringing this to you. Remember, your health and your comfort matter. We'll see you in the next video where we'll dive deeper. Well, maybe not the next video. We're going to see what YouTube allows us to do. But we will dive sometime into another video about medical cannabis and what works for different types of pain. Retirement for seniors. Your best retirement starts right here. Engaged, curious, and never bored. Guys, thanks. Take care, and bye for now.